Hello, 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 friends, Romans, countrymen. Welcome to Julius Caesar. I'm Anna Allport, the founder of the Intercollegiate Shakespeare Company and the director of Julius Caesar. I am joined off stage by 15 beautiful cast members from 12 different colleges, and I want to welcome you to our reading of the play. This project contains a lot of firsts. This is the first Intercollegiate Shakespeare Company production. Some cast members are performing Shakespeare's work for the first or the second time, and this is our very first experimental reading of this play, which was first performed 422 years ago in the year 1599. Shakespeare's original production of Julius Caesar was set in the year 44 BCE, as Caesar returns home to Rome after defeating Pompey the Great in one of the battles of the Roman Civil War. Fearing that Caesar's power may be growing out of control, the Roman senator Cassius and statesman Casca plot to get Caesar out of office. They enlist fellow senator Brutus, Caesar's friend, to join the conspiracy, but Brutus is plagued by doubts and hesitancy. Meanwhile, a soothsayer, Caesar's wife, Calpurnia, and even Brutus's wife, Portia, are troubled by the undercurrents of sinister energy that seem to involve Caesar and swirl around a particular date, March 15th, the Ides of March. The song you heard while waiting for the show to begin is Eryilmaz' Sweet Dreams, and dreams and their power are another theme of the show. Our reading tonight retains Shakespeare's language, but updates the setting to a contemporary hospital emergency room during this COVID-19 pandemic. Instead of senators, citizens, and servants, we'll have physicians, nurses, and EMTs. You'll be able to tell the physicians by their white coats, the nurses are in scrubs, and the EMTs are in black jackets. And the character of Julius Caesar is a female physician. So my question to you, the audience members, is this. Is Caesar a dictatorial, power-hungry ruler, or is she vilified for being a woman of color in power? So some quick housekeeping notes before the reading begins. This reading runs about 90 minutes and there will not be an intermission, but you as the audience members are not seen or heard by the cast. So if you need to get up, have a little dance break, get some refreshments, or step out for a minute, don't worry, you won't disturb the show. When characters exit, their screen will sometimes go black, but you might see their names appear in white lettering. That's okay. That's just a function of the Zoom world that we're living in. We are using sound design in this play, and at the very start of the show and throughout, you may hear just noise with no visual. Don't worry, it's not a technical glitch. That's part of the show, so just close your eyes, take it all in, and listen. Number 4, we are experimenting with props, expressions, movement, and other ways to tell this story in this non-traditional online platform. Again, this is a reading. It's not a full dramatization of the play. Think of it as a dramatic experiment. So let us know what works and what doesn't. We'd really love to hear your feedback. And on that note, we are keeping the chat open just for panelists and cast and crew to do some sort of backstage chatting as the show begins. But please, please, please use the Q&A function on your screen that should be there on the bottom next to participants, the Q&A. And what will be happening during that is it should be enabled so that all of you can read one another's responses so you can have a little discussion going in the Q&A and, of course, also put some questions that me and the cast can answer afterwards. And on that note, we had a Q&A, a talkback after yesterday's show, and it was so popular that we decided to do it again today. So congratulations. After the show today, if you stay for about 20 minutes, you will get to hear from me and the cast and answer your questions about the show and how we put it on in this COVID atmosphere and anything else you want to know. So really be sure to use that Q&A function because we would love to answer your questions. And now, as I get my screen together to start the show, I am so excited to welcome you, break a leg to the cast, and we're really honored to have you here for the second of our just 3 performances of this reading. So without further ado, I proudly present to you the Intercollegiate Shakespeare Company's reading of Julius Caesar.
Get this patient to bed 15.
Hello? Is anybody there?
Get a ventilator. We need a ventilator.
Prepare the remdesivir.
Injecting now, doctor.
Get Caesar.
Please, you have to help my son.
We're doing all that we can. Please hold on a moment.
My wife hasn't smelled anything in 6 days.
Everyone, please stay seated 6 feet apart.
Caesar,
Hold their arms. It's time to intubate.
I'm just an intern.
Call the hospital in the next town, see if they have any more PPE.
I called already.
Call again.
But across the world, dozens were falling ill with a mysterious virus that would ultimately change.
The new virus?
Tonight.
The worldwide COVID death count is more than twice official tally study finds, now totaling 196 million cases and 4.19 million deaths.
I can't breathe.
Stay with me, stay with me.
You swallowed bleach? Get the endoscope.
Get out of the way.
We lost another one, Doctor.
Help! We need help.
Where is Caesar?
Caesar!
Caesar.
Caesar?
Hence! Home, you idle creatures! Get you home! Is this a holiday? What? Know you not? Being mechanical, you ought not walk upon a laboring day without the sign of your profession. Speak, what trade art thou?
Why, sir, a carpenter.
Where is thy leather apron and thy rule? You, sir, what trade are you?
A trade, sir, that I hope I may use with a safe conscience, which is indeed, sir, a mender of bad souls.
Thou art a cobbler, art thou?
I am indeed, sir.
But wherefore art not thou in thy shop today? Why dost thou lead these men about the streets?
Truly, sir, to wear out their shoes, to get myself into more work. But indeed, sir, we make holiday, to see Caesar and to rejoice in her triumph.
Wherefore rejoice? What conquest brings she home? You blocks, you stones, you worse than senseless things. Knew you not Pompey? Many a time and oft when you saw Pompey pass the streets of Rome, have you not made a universal shout? And do you now call out a holiday? Do you now strew flowers in her way that comes in triumph over Pompey's blood? Be gone! Run to your houses, fall upon your knees, pray to the gods to intermit the plague that needs must light on this ingratitude. Go you down that way, towards the Capitol. This way we will disrobe the images if we do find them decked with ceremonies.
May we do so? You know it is the feast of Lupercal.
It is no matter. Let no images be hung with Caesar's trophies all about, and drive away the vulgar from the streets. Pluck we these feathers from that Caesar's wing, who else would soar above the view of men and keep us all in servile fearfulness?
Calpurnia?
Be so, Caesar speaks.
Calpurnia?
Here, my lady.
Stand ye directly in Antonius's way when he doth run his course. Antonius!
Caesar, my lord.
Forget not in your speed, Antonius, to touch Calpurnia, for our elders say the baron touched in this holy chase shake off their stoical curse.
I shall remember. When Caesar says do this, it is performed.
Set on and leave no ceremony out.
Caesar!
Who is it in the press that calls on me? I hear a tongue shriller than all the music cries, Caesar. Speak, Caesar is turned to hear.
Beware the Ides of March.
What man is that?
Soothsayer bids you beware the Ides of March.
Set him before me, let me see his face.
Fellow, come from the throng, look upon Caesar.
What sayest thou to me now? Speak once again.
Beware the Ides of March.
He is a dreamer. Let us leave him. Pass.
Will you go see the order of the course?
I'm not gamesome. I do lack some part of that quick spirit that is an Antony. Let me not hinder, Cassius, your desires. I'll leave you.
Brutus, I do observe you now of late. You bear too stubborn and too strange a hand over your friend who loves you.
Cassius, be not deceived. If I veiled my look, I turned the trouble of my countenance merely upon myself. But let not therefore my good friends be grieved. Alas, poor Brutus with himself at war forgets the shows of love to other men.
Then, Brutus, I have much mistook your passion. But tell me, good Brutus, can you see her face?
No, Cassius, the eye sees not itself, but by reflection by some other things.
'Tis just, and it is very much lamented, Brutus, that you have no such mirrors as will turn your hidden worthiness into your eye, that you might see your shadow. I have heard where many of the best respect in Rome, except immortal Caesar, speaking of Brutus, have wished that noble Brutus had his eyes.
Into what dangers would you lead me, Cassius? You would have me seek into myself for that which is not in me.
Therefore, good Brutus, be prepared to hear.
What means this shouting? I do fear the people choose Caesar for their king.
I do you fear it? Then I must think you might not have it so.
I would not, Cassius. Yet I love her well. But wherefore do you hold me here so long? What is it that you would impart to me? If it ought toward the general good, let the gods so speed me, as I love the name of honor more than I fear death.
I know that virtue be in you, Brutus. Well, honor is the name of my story. I was born free as Caesar, so were you. We both have fed as well, and we can both endure the winter's cold as well as she. She had a fever when she was in Spain, and when the fit was on her, I did mark how she did shake. 'Tis true, Caesar did shake, and I did hear her groan. Alas, she cried, give me some drink, Titinius, as a sick girl. And this woman is now become a god, and Cassius is a wretched creature and must bend his body if Caesar carelessly but not on him. Ye gods, it doth amaze me more than words. A woman of such feeble temper should so get the start of the majestic world and bear the palm alone.
Another general shout? We believe these applauses are for some new honors that are heaped on Caesar.
Men at sometimes are masters of their fate. The fault, dear Brutus, is not in our stars, but in ourselves, that we are underlings.
That you do love me, I'm nothing jealous. Where you would work me to, I have some aim. But for this present, Cassius, I would not be any further moved. Till then, my noble friend, chew upon this. Brutus had rather be a villager than to repute himself a son of Rome under these hard conditions at this time.
I am glad that my weak words have struck but thus so much fire from Brutus.
Games are done. Caesar is returning.
As they pass by, pluck Casca by the sleeve, and he will, after his sour fashion, tell you what have preceded worthy note today.
I will do so, but look you, Cassius. The angry spot doth glow on Caesar's brow. Calpurnia's cheek is pale, Cicero's fire, and all the rest look like a chidden train.
Casca will tell us what the matter is.
Antonius.
Caesar.
Let me have men about me that impose, sleek-headed men in such a sleep o' nights. Yon Cassius has a lean and hungry look. He thinks too much. Such men are dangerous.
Fear him not, Caesar. He's not dangerous. He is a noble Roman and well given.
Would he were larger, but I fear him not. Yet if my name were liable to fear, I do not know the man I should avoid so soon as that spare Cassius. He reads much. He's a great observer, and he looks quite through the deeds of men. He loves no plays, as thou dost, Antony. He hears no music. Seldom he smiles, and smiles in such a sort as if he mocked himself. Such men as he be never at heart's ease whiles they behold a greater than themselves, and therefore are they very dangerous. I rather tell thee what is to be feared than what I fear, for always I am Caesar. Come, tell me truly what thou thinkst of him.
You pulled me by the cloak. Would you speak with me?
Aye, Casca. Tell us what hath chanced today that Caesar looks so sad.
Why, you were with her, were you not?
I should not then ask Casca what had chanced.
Why, there was a crown offered her, and being offered her, she put it by with the back of her hand thus, and then the people fell a-shouting.
They shouted thrice. What were the three cries for?
Why, for that too.
Was the crown offered her thrice?
Aye, Mary was it, and she put it by thrice, every time gentler than other, and at every putting by mine honest neighbours shouted.
Who offered her the crown?
Why, Antony, and still as she refused it, the rabblement uttered such a deal of stinking breath that she swooned and fell down at it, and for mine own part I durst not laugh, for fear of opening my lips and receiving the bad air.
What soft, I pray you, what, did Caesar swoon?
'Tis very like. She hath the falling sickness.
No, Caesar hath it not, but you and I, and honest Casca, we have the falling sickness.
I know not what you mean by that, but I am sure Caesar fell down. If the tag-rag people did not clap her and hiss her, as they used to do the players in the theatre, I am no true man.
What said she when she came unto herself?
Mary, before she fell down, when she perceived the common herd was glad she refused the crown, she plucked me ope her doublet, and offered them her throat to cut. When she came to herself again, she said if she had done or said anything amiss, she desired their worships to think it was her infirmity. 3 or 4 wenches where I stood cried, Alas, good soul, and forgave her with all their hearts, but there's no heed to be taken of them. If Caesar had stabbed their mothers, they would have done no less.
And after that she came thus sad away?
Aye. Fare you well. There was more foolery yet, if I could remember it.
Will you dine with me tomorrow, Casca?
Aye, if I be alive and your mind hold and your dinner worth the eating.
Good. I will expect you.
Do so. Farewell both.
And so it is. For this time I will leave you. Tomorrow, if you please to speak with me, come home to me and I will wait for you.
I will do so. Till then, think of the world. Well, Brutus, thou art noble. Yet I see thy honorable metal may be wrought from that it is disposed. Caesar doth bear me hard, but she loves Brutus. If I were Brutus now and he were Cassius, he should not hear me. I will this night throw writings as if to come from several citizens, all tending to the great opinion that Rome holds of his name, wherein obscurely Caesar's ambition shall be glanced at, and after this let Caesar seat her sure, for we will shake her, or worse days endure. Who's there?
A Roman!
Casca, by your voice.
Your ear is good, Cassius. What night is this?
A very pleasing night to honest men. For my part, I have walked about the streets, and thus, unbraced, Casca, as you see, have bared my face unto the thunderstone.
But wherefore did you so much tempt the heavens?
You are dull, Casca. You look pale and gaze to see the strange impatience of the heavens, but if you would consider the true cause, why, you should find them instruments of warning unto some monstrous state. Now could I, Casca, name to thee a woman most like this dreadful night?
'Tis Caesar that you mean, is it not, Cassius?
Let it be who it is. But woe the while, our fathers' minds are dead, and we are governed with our mother's spirits. Our yoke and sufferance show us womanish.
Indeed, they say the senators tomorrow mean to establish Caesar as a king.
I know where I will wear this dagger then. Cassius from bondage will deliver Cassius. That part of tyranny that I do bear, I can shake off at pleasure. But, oh, grief, where hast thou led me? I perhaps speak this before a willing bondman?
You speak to Casca, and no fleering telltale.
Now know you, Casca, I have moved already some certain of the noblest minded Romans to undergo with me an enterprise. Come, Casca, you and I will yet ere day. See Brutus at his house. 3 parts of him is ours already, and the man in Tyre upon the next encounter yields him ours.
Oh, he sits high in all the people's hearts, and that which would offence in us, his countenance, like richest alchemy, will change to virtue and to worthiness.
Let us go.
What? Lucius, ho! Lucius, I say! Would it were my fault to sleep so soundly. When, Lucius? When? Awake, I say! What, Lucius?
Called you, my lord.
Give me a taper in my study, Lucius. When it is lighted, come and call me here.
I will, my lord.
It must be by her death. And for my part, I know no personal cause to spurn at her, but for the general. That might change her nature. There's the question. Crown her? Or then we put a sting in her that at her will she may do danger with. The abuse of greatness is when it disjoins remorse from power. And to speak truth of Caesar, I have not known when her affection swayed more than her reason. But 'tis a common proof that lowliness is young ambition's ladder, but he who once attains the utmost round does turn his back and scorn the base degrees by which he did ascend. So Caesar may, unless she may prevent. Passionate thus, that what she is, augmented would run to these and these extremities, and therefore think her as a serpent's egg, which hatched would, as her kind, grow mischievous, and kill her in the show.
The taper burneth in your closet, sir. Searching the window for a flint, I found this paper, sealed up, and I'm sure it did not lie there when I went to bed.
Get you to bed again. It is not day. It is not tomorrow, boy, the Ides of March.
I know not, sir.
Look in the calendar and bring me word.
I will, sir.
Brutus, thou sleepst, awake. Awake and see thyself. Of Rome, etc., speak, strike, redress. Such instigations often been dropped where I took them up. Speak, strike, redress. Am I entreated to speak and strike? O Rome, I make thee promise. If the redress will follow, thou receiveth thy full petition at the hand of Brutus.
Sir, March has wasted 14 days.
'Tis good. Go to the gate, somebody knocks. Since Cassius did first wet me against Caesar, I have not slept. Between the acting of a dreadful thing and the first motion, all the interim is like a phantasma or a hideous dream.
Sir, 'tis your brother Cassius at the door, who doth desire to see you.
Is he alone?
No, sir, there are more with him.
Let him enter. They are the faction. O conspiracy. Shamest thou to show thy dangerous brow by night when evils are most free? Or then by day, wilt thou find a cavern dark enough to mask thy monstrous visage? Seek none, conspiracy. Hide it in smiles and affability.
I think we are too bold upon your rest. Good morrow, Brutus. Do we trouble you?
I've been up this hour, awake all night. Know I these men that come along with you?
Yes, every man of them, and no man here but honors you, and every one doth wish you had but that opinion of yourself, which every noble Roman bears of you. This is Decius Brutus, Casca, and Metellus Cimber.
They are all welcome. Give me your hands all over, one by one.
And let us swear our resolution.
No, not an oath. If our motives be weak, then let high-sided tyranny range on. But if these, sure they do bear fire enough to steal with valor women's melting spirits, what need we any spur but our own cause to prick us to redress? Men, do not stain the even virtue of our enterprise to think that our case did need an oath. And every drop of blood each Roman bears is guilty of a several bastardy if you do break the smallest particle of any promise that have passed from you.
Shall no man else be touched but only Caesar?
Decius, well urged. I think it is not meet. Mark Antony, so well beloved of Caesar, should outlive Caesar. We shall find him a shrewd contriver, which to prevent Let Antony and Caesar fall together.
Our course will seem too bloody, Caius Cassius. To cut the head off and then hack the limbs, for Antony is but a limb of Caesar. Let us be sacrificers, but not butchers, Caius. Or that we come by just Caesar's spirit and not dismember Caesar. But alas, Caesar must bleed for it. And, gentle friends, let's kill her boldly, but not wrathfully. In this is purpose necessary, not envious, which, so appearing to the common eyes, we shall be called purgers, not murderers. And for Mark Antony, think not of him, for he can do no more than Caesar's arm when Caesar's head is off.
Yet I fear him, for in the engrafted love he bears to Caesar.
Alas, good Cassius, do not think of him. If he loves Caesar, all that he can do is to himself, take thought and die for Caesar. And that were much he should, for he is given to sports, to wildness, and much company.
There is no fear in him. Let him not die, for he will live and laugh at this hereafter.
Peace. Count the clock.
The clock hath stricken 3.
'Tis time to part.
But it is doubtful yet whether Caesar will come forth today or no, for she is superstitious grown of late.
Never fear that. Let me work, for I can give her humor the true bent, and I will bring her to the capital.
Nay, we will always be there to fetch her.
By the 8th hour, at the uttermost.
Be that the uttermost, and fail not then.
Caius Ligarius doth bear Caesar hard, who rated him for speaking well of Pompey. I wonder none of you have thought of him.
Now, good Metellus, go along by him. He loves me well, and I have given him reasons. Send him but hither, and I'll fashion him.
The morning comes upon us. We'll leave you, Brutus. And friends, disperse yourselves, but all remember what you have said, and show yourselves to be true Romans.
Good gentlemen, look fresh and merrily. Let not our looks put on our purposes, but bear it as our Roman actors do. So good morrow to you, everyone. Boy, Lucius! Fast asleep? It is no matter. Enjoy the honey-heavy dew of slumber.
Brutus, my lord.
Portia? What mean you? Wherefore rise you now? It is not for your condition thus to commit your weak condition and health to the raw cold morning.
Nor for yours neither. You ungently, Brutus, stole from my bed, and yesternight at supper you suddenly arose and walked about musing and sighing with your arms across. And when I asked you what the matter was, you stared upon me with ungentle looks. I urged you further, then you scratched your head and too impatiently stamped with your foot. Yet I insisted, yet you answered not, but with an angry wafture of your hand gave sign for me to leave you. So I did, fearing to strengthen that impatience which seemed too much enkindled, and withal hoping it was but an effect of humor, which sometime hath his hour with every man. It will not let you eat, nor talk, nor sleep. And could it work so much upon your shape as it hath much prevailed on your condition? I should not know you, Brutus. Dear my lord, make me acquainted with your cause of grief.
I am not well in health, and that is all.
Brutus is wise, and were he not in health, he would embrace the means to come by it.
So I do. Good Portia, go to bed.
Is Brutus sick? And is it physical to walk unbraced and suck up the humors of the dank morning? What, is Brutus sick? And will he steal out of his wholesome bed to dare the vile contagion of the night and tempt the roomy and unpurged air to add unto his sickness? No, my Brutus. You have some sick offense within your mind, which by the right and virtue of my place I ought to know of, and upon my knees I charm you by my once commended beauty, by all your vows of love, and that great vow which did incorporate and make us one, that you unfold to me, yourself, your half, why you are heavy, and what men tonight
have had to resort to you, for here have been some 6 or 7 who did hide their faces even from darkness.
You'll not, gentle Portia.
I should not need if you were gentle, Brutus. Within the bond of marriage, tell me, Brutus, is it accepted that I should know no secrets that appertain to you? Am I yourself, but as it were, in sort or limitation to keep with you at meals, comfort your bed, and then talk to you sometimes? Dwell I but in the suburbs of your good pleasure? If it be no more than Portia is Brutus's harlot, not his wife.
You are my true and honorable wife.
If this were true, then I should know this secret. I grant I am a woman, but withal a woman that Lord Brutus took to wife. I grant I am a woman, but withal a woman well reputed, Cato's daughter. Think you I am no stronger than my sex, being so fathered and so husbanded? Tell me your counsels. I will not disclose them. I have made strong proof of my constancy, giving myself a voluntary wound here in the thigh. Can I bear that with patience and not my husband's secrets?
O ye gods, render me worthy of this noble wife. Hark, one knocks. Portia, go in a while. By and by thy bosom shall partake the secrets of my heart. Leave me with haste. Lucius, who's that knocks?
He is a sick man that would speak with you.
Caius Ligarius, that Metellus spake of. Boy, stand aside. Caius Ligarius, how?
Vouchsafe good morrow from a feeble tongue.
Oh, what a time you've chose out, brave Caius, to wear a kerchief. Would you were not sick?
I am not sick if Brutus have in hand any exploit worthy the name of honor.
Such an exploit have I in hand, Ligarius, that had you had a healthful ear to hear of it.
By all the gods that Romans bow before, I here discard my sickness. Brave son, thou, like an exorcist, hast conjured up my mortified spirit. Now bid me run, and I will strive with things impossible. Yea, get the better of them. What's to do?
A piece of work that will make sick men whole.
But are not some whole that we must make sick?
That must we also. What it is, my Caius, I shall unfold to thee, as we are going to whom it must be done.
Set on your foot, and with a heart new fired I follow you. To do I know not what, but it suffices that Brutus leads me on.
Follow me then.
Nor heaven nor earth have been at peace tonight. Thrice hath Calpurnia in her sleep cried out, "Help! How they murder Caesar!" Who's within?
My lady?
Go bid the priest do present sacrifice and bring me their opinions of success.
I will, my lady.
What mean you, Caesar? Think you to walk forth? You shall not stir out of your house today.
Caesar shall forth. The things that threaten me never looked but on my back. When they shall see the face of Caesar, they are vanished.
Caesar, I never stood on ceremonies, yet now they fright me. There is one within, besides the things that we have seen and heard, recounts the most horrid signs seen by the watch. A lioness hath whelped in the streets, and graves have yawned and yielded up their dead. Fierce fiery warriors fought upon the clouds which drizzled blood upon the Capitol. The noise of battle hurtled in the air. Horses did neigh, and dying men did groan, and ghosts did shriek and squeal about the streets. Oh, Caesar, these things are beyond all use, and I do fear them.
What can be avoided whose end is purposed by the mighty gods? Yet Caesar shall go forth. For these predictions are to the world in general as to Caesar.
When beggars die, there are no comets seen, but the heavens themselves blaze forth the death of princes.
Cowards die many times before their deaths. The valiant never taste of death but once. Of all the wonders that I yet have heard, it seems to me most strange that men should fear, seeing that death, a necessary end, will come when it will come. What say the augurs?
They would not have you to stir forth today. Plucking the entrails of an offering forth, they could not find a heart within the beast.
The gods do this in shame of cowardice. Caesar should be a beast without a heart if she should stay at home today for fear. No! Caesar shall not! Danger knows full well that Caesar is more dangerous than she. We are two lions littered in one day, and I, the elder and more terrible, and Caesar shall go forth.
Alas, my lady, your wisdom is consumed in confidence. Do not go forth today. Call it my fear that keeps you in the house and not your own. We'll send Mark Antony to the Senate House, and he shall say, you are not well today. Let me, upon my knee, prevail in this.
Mark Antony shall say I am not well, and for thy humor I will stay at home. Here's Decius Brutus, he shall tell them so.
Caesar, all hail. Good morrow, worthy Caesar. I come to fetch you to the Senate House.
And you are come in very happy time to bear my greetings to the senators and tell them that I will not come today. Cannot is false in that I dare not, falser. I will not come today. Tell them so, Decius.
Say she is sick.
Shall Caesar send a lie? Have I in conquest stretched mine arm so far to be afraid to tell graybeards the truth? Decius, go tell them Caesar will not come.
Most mighty Caesar, let me know some cause lest I be laughed at when I tell them so.
The cause is in my will. I will not come. That is enough to satisfy the Senate. But for your private satisfaction, because I love you, I will let you know. Calpurnia here, my wife, stays me at home. She dreamt tonight she saw my statue, which, like a fountain with 100 spouts, did run pure blood, and many lusty Romans came smiling, and did bathe their hands in it. And these does she apply for warnings and portents and evils imminent, and on her knee hath begged that I will stay at home today.
This dream is all a misinterpreted. It was a vision fair and fortunate. Your statue spouting blood in many pipes in which so many smiling Romans bathed signifies that from you great Rome shall suck reviving blood, and that great men shall press for tinctures, stains, relics, and cognizance. This by Calpurnia's dream is signified.
And this way have you well expounded it.
I have, when you have heard what I can say. And know it now, the Senate have concluded to give this day a crown to mighty Caesar. If you shall send them word you will not come, their minds may change. Besides, it were mock apt to be rendered for someone to say, break up the Senate till another time, when Caesar's wife shall meet with better dreams. If Caesar hide herself, shall they not whisper, lo, Caesar is afraid? Pardon me, Caesar, for my dear, dear love, to our proceeding bids me tell you this.
How foolish do your fears seem now, Calpurnia? I am ashamed I did yield to them. Give me my robe, for I will go. And look where Brutus here has come to fetch me.
Good morrow, Caesar.
Welcome, Brutus. What, countrymen, are you stirred so early too? Good morrow, Casca. Caius Ligarius, Caesar was never so much your enemy as that same ague which hath made you lean. What is it o'clock?
Caesar, it struck an 8.
I thank you for your pains and courtesy. See, Antony that revels long a night is notwithstanding up. Good morrow, Antony.
So too, most noble Caesar.
Bid them prepare within. I am to blame to be thus waited for. Good friends, go in and taste some wine with me, and we, like friends, will straightway go together.
Caesar, Beware of Brutus. Take heed of Cassius. Come not near the rest. There is but one mind in all these men, and it is bent against Caesar. Look about you. Security gives way to conspiracy. The mighty gods defend thee. Thy lover, Artemidorus. As a suitor will I give Caesar this. My heart laments that virtue cannot live out of the teeth of emulation. If thou read this, O Caesar, thou mayst live. If not, the fates with traitors do contrive.
I prithee, boy, run to the Senate house. Stay not to answer me, but get thee gone. Why dost thou stay?
To know my errand, madam.
I would have had thee there and here again, ere I can tell thee what thou shouldst do there. O constancy, be strong upon my side. I have a man's mind, but a woman's might. Art thou here yet?
Madam, what should I do? Run to the capital and nothing else? And so return to you and nothing else?
Yes, bring me word, boy, if thy lord look well, for he went sickly forth. And take good note what Caesar doth, what suitors press to her. Hark, boy, what noise is that?
I hear none, madam.
Prithee, listen well. I heard a bustling rumor, like a fray, and the wind brings it from the capital.
Sooth, madam, I hear nothing.
Come hither, fellow. Which way hast thou been?
At mine own house, good lady.
What is it o'clock?
About the 9th hour, lady.
Is Caesar yet gone to the capital?
Madam, not yet. I go to take my stand to see her pass on to the capital.
Thou hast some suit to Caesar, hast thou not?
That I have, lady. If it will please Caesar to be so good as to Caesar as to hear me, I shall beseech her to befriend herself.
Why? Knowest thou any harms intended towards her?
None that I know will be. Much that I fear may chance. Good morrow to you. I'll speak to Caesar as she comes along.
I must go in. Ay me, how weak a thing the heart of woman is. O Brutus, the heavens speed thee in thine enterprise. Sure, the boy heard me. Brutus hath a suit that Caesar will not grant. Oh, I grow faint. Run, Lucius, and commend me to my lord. Say I am merry, and come to me again, and bring me word what he doth say to thee.
The Ides of March are come.
Hi, Caesar, but not gone.
Hail, Caesar, read this schedule.
Caius doth desire you to o'erread. At your best leisure, this his humble suit.
Oh, Caesar, read mine first, for mine's a suit that touches Caesar near her. Read it, great Caesar.
What touches us ourself shall be last served.
Delay not, Caesar, read it instantly.
What, is the fellow mad?
What? Urge you your petitions on the street. Come to the capital.
I wish your enterprise today may thrive.
What enterprise, Popillius?
Fare you well.
What's that, Popillius, Lena?
He wished today our enterprise might thrive. I fear our purpose is discovered.
Look how he makes the Caesar. Mark him.
Brutus, what shall be done? If this be known, Cassius or Caesar never shall turn back, for I will slay myself.
Cassius, be constant. Popillius Lena speaks not of our purposes, for look, he smiles, and Caesar doth not change.
Ligarius knows his time, for look you, Brutus, he draws Mark Antony out of the way.
Are we all ready? What is now amiss that Caesar and his Senate must address?
Most high, most mighty, and most puissant Caesar, Metellus Cimber throws before thy seat a humble heart.
I must prevent thee, Cimber. These couchings and these lowly courtesies might fire the blood of ordinary men, and turn preordinance and first decree into the law of children. Be not fond to think that Caesar bears such rebel blood that will be thawed from the true quality with that which melteth fools. I mean, sweet words, low crooked curtsies, and base spaniel fawning. Thy brother by decree is banished. If thou dost bend and pray and fawn for him, I spurn thee like a cur out of my way. No, Caesar doth not wrong, nor without cause will she be satisfied.
Is there no voice more worthy than my own to sound more sweetly in great Caesar's ear for the repealing of my banished brother?
I kiss thy hand, but not in flattery, Caesar, desiring thee that Publius Cimber may have an immediate freedom of repeal.
What, Brutus?
Pardon, Caesar, Caesar, pardon. As low as thy foot doth Cassius fall to beg enfranchisement for Publius Cimber.
The skies are painted with unnumbered sparks, but there's but one in all doth hold her place, so in the world. 'Tis furnished well with men, and men are flesh and blood and apprehensive. Yet in the number I do know but one that unassailable holds on her rank, unshaked of motion. I am that she. I am as constant as the northern star. Let me a little show it. Even in this, that I was constant, Cimber should be banished, and constant do remain to keep him so.
Oh, Caesar!
Hence will thou lift up Olympus?
Great Caesar!
Does not Brutus bootless kneel?
Speak hands for me!
It too? Brute? Then fall, Caesar.
Liberty, freedom, tyranny is dead. Run hence, proclaim, cry it about the streets.
Some to the common pulpits and cry out, liberty, freedom, and enfranchisement.
People and senators, be not affrighted. Fly not stand stiff, ambition's debt is paid.
Go to the pulpit, Brutus!
And Cassius too.
I will. And let no man abide this deed but we, the doers.
Where is Antony?
Led to his house amazed. Men, wives, and children stare, cry out, and run, as it were doomsday.
Fates, we will know your pleasures. That we shall die, we know 'tis but the time and drawing days out that men stand upon.
Why? He that cuts off 20 years of life cuts off so many years of fearing death.
Grant that. And then is death a benefit? So are we Caesar's friends that have abridged for time of fearing death. Stoop, Romans, and let us bathe our hands in Caesar's blood up to the elbows, and besmear our swords. Then walk we forth even to the marketplace, and waving our red weapons o'er our heads, let's all cry peace, freedom, and liberty.
What, shall we forth?
Aye, every man away. Brutus shall lead, and we will grace his heels, with the boldest and best hearts of Rome.
Soft. Comes here. A friend of Antony's.
Brutus, my master, bade me kneel and say, Brutus is noble, wise, valiant, and honest. Caesar was mighty, bold, royal, and loving. Say I love Brutus, and I honor him. Say I feared Caesar, honored her, and loved her. If Brutus will vouchsafe that Antony may safely come to him and be resolved, how Caesar hath deserved to lie in death. Mark Antony shall not love Caesar dead so well as Brutus living, but will follow you with faith. So says Antony.
My master is a wise and valiant Roman. I never thought him worse. Tell him, so please him come unto this place, he shall be satisfied. And by my honor, depart untouched.
I'll fetch him presently.
I know that we shall have him well to friend.
I wish we may, but yet I have a mind that fears him much.
But here comes Antony. Welcome, Mark Antony.
Oh, mighty Caesar, dost thou lie so low? Are all thy conquests, glories, triumphs, spoils shrunk to this little measure? Fare thee well. I know not, gentlemen, what you intend. What else? Who else must be let blood? Who else is rank? If I myself, there is no hour so fit as Caesar's death hour, nor no instrument of half that worth as those your swords, made rich with the most noble blood of all this world. I do beseech ye, if you bear me hard, now, whilst your purpled hands do reek and smoke, fulfill your pleasure. Live 1,000 years, I shall not find myself so apt to die. No place will please me so, no means of death as here, by Caesar, and by you cut off, the choice and master spirits of this age.
O Antony, beg not your death of us. For now our hands appear bloody and cruel. Our hearts you see not, they are pitiful. A brother's temper, we receive you in with all kind love, good thoughts and reverence.
Your voice shall be as strong as any man's in the disposing of new dignities.
Only be patient till we've appeased the multitude, beside themselves with fear, and then we will deliver you the cause. Why, I that did love Caesar when I struck her, have thus proceeded.
I doubt not of your wisdom. Let each man render me his bloody hand. Marcus Brutus, Caius Cassius, Decius Brutus, Metellus Cimber, Casca Ligarius. Gentlemen, all, alas, what shall I say? My credit now stands on such slippery ground that one of two bad ways you must conceit me, either a coward or a flatterer. That I did love thee, Caesar, oh, 'tis true. If then thy spirit look upon us now, shall it not grieve thee dearer than thy death to see thy Antony making his peace, shaking the bloody fingers of thy foes most noble in the presence of thy corse? Had I as many eyes as thou hast wounds, weeping as fast as they stream forth thy blood, it would become me better than to close in terms of friendship with thine enemies. Pardon me, Julius.
Mark Antony.
Pardon me, Caius Cassius. The enemies of Caesar shall say this. Then in a friend it is called modesty.
I blame you not for praising Caesar so, but what compact mean you to have with us? Will you be pricked in number of our friends, or shall we on and not depend on you?
Therefore, I took your hands, but was indeed swayed from the point by looking down on Caesar. Friends am I with you all, and love you all. Upon this hope that you shall give me reasons why and wherein Caesar was dangerous.
Or else were this a savage spectacle? Our reasons are so full of good regard that were you Antony, the son of Caesar, you should be satisfied.
That's all I seek, and am moreover suitor that I may produce her body to the marketplace, and in the pulpit, as becomes a friend, speak in the order of her funeral.
You shall, Mark Antony.
Brutus, a word with you. You know not what you do. Do not consent that Antony speak in her funeral. Know you how much the people may be moved by what he will utter?
By your pardon, I will myself into the pulpit first, and show the reason of our Caesar's death. When Antony shall speak, I will protest he speaks by leave and by permission, and that we are contented Caesar shall have all true rights and lawful ceremonies. It shall advantage us more than do us wrong.
I know not what may fall. I like it not.
Mark Antony, here, take you Caesar's body. You shall not in your funeral speech blame us, but speak all good you can devise of Caesar, and say you do it by our permission. Else shall you not have any hand at all about her funeral. And you shall speak in the same pulpit whereto I am going, after my speech is ended.
Be it so. I do desire no more.
Prepare the body, then, and follow us.
Oh, pardon me, thou bleeding piece of earth, that I am meek and gentle with these butchers. Thou art the ruins of the noblest woman that ever lived in the tide of times. Woe to the hand that shed this costly blood. Over thy wounds now do I prophesy, which like dumb mouths do ope their ruby lips to beg the voice and utterance of my tongue. A curse shall light upon the limbs of men. Domestic fury and fierce civil strife shall cumber all the parts of Italy. Blood and destruction shall be so in use, and dreadful objects so familiar that mothers shall but smile when they behold their infants quartered with the hands of war. And Caesar's spirit, ranging for revenge with Ate by her side, come hot from hell, shall in these confines with a monarch's voice cry havoc, and let slip the dogs of war. This foul deed shall smell above the earth, with Cheriyan men groaning for burial. You serve Octavius Caesar, do you not?
I do, Mark Antony.
Caesar did right for him to come to Rome.
He did receive his letters and is coming, and bid me say to you by word of mouth. Caesar.
Thy heart is big. Get thee apart and weep. Passion I see is catching. For mine eyes, seeing those beads of sorrow stand in thine, began to water. Is thy master coming?
He lies tonight within 7 leagues of Rome.
Post back with speed, and tell him what hath chanced. Here is a mourning Rome, a dangerous Rome. No Rome of safety for Octavius yet. Hie hence, and tell him so. Yet, stay a while. Thou shalt not back till I have borne this corpse into the marketplace. Lend me your hand.
Be patient to the last. Romans, countrymen, and lovers, hear me for my cause, and be silent that you may hear. Believe me for mine honor, and have respect to mine honor that you may believe. Censure me in your wisdom, and awake your senses that you may the better judge. If there be any in this assembly, any dear friend of Caesar's, to him I say that Brutus's love to Caesar was no less than his. If then that friend demand why Brutus rose against Caesar, this is my answer. Not that I loved Caesar less, that I loved Rome more. Had you rather Caesar were living and die all slaves, than that Caesar were dead to live all free men? As Caesar loved me, I weep for her. As she was fortunate, I rejoice at it. As she was valiant, I honor her, but as she was ambitious, I slew her. There is tears for her love, joy for her fortune, honor for her valor, and death for her ambition. Who is here so base that would be a bondman? If any, speak, for him have I offended. Who is here so rude that would not be a Roman? If any, speak, for him have I offended. Who is here so vile that will not love his country? If any, speak, for him have I offended. I pause for a reply.
None.
None. Brutus.
None at all.
Then none have I offended. I have done no more to Caesar than you shall do to Brutus. The question of her death is enrolled in the Capitol. Her glory not extenuated wherein she was worthy, nor her offenses enforced for which she suffered death. Here comes her body, mourned by Mark Antony, who, though he had no hand in her death, shall receive the benefit of her dying. A place in the Commonwealth, as which of you shall not? With this I depart. As I slew my best lover for the good of Rome, I have the same dagger for myself, when it shall please my country to need my death.
Live, Brutus, live!
Bring him with triumph unto his house. This Caesar was a tyrant.
Give him a statue with his ancestors.
Let him be Caesar.
My countrymen.
Peace, silence. Brutus speaks.
Good countrymen, let me depart alone. And for my sake, stay here with Antony. Do grace to Caesar's corpse, and grace his speech tending to Caesar's glories, which Mark Antony, by our permission, is allowed to make. I do entreat you, not a man depart save I alone, till Antony have spoke.
Hey, ho, and let us hear Mark Antony.
Brutus' sake, I am beholden to you, you gentle Romans.
Peace, ho, let us hear him.
Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. I come to bury Caesar, not to praise her. The evil that men do lives after them. The good is oft interred with their bones. So let it be with Caesar. The noble Brutus hath told you Caesar was ambitious. If it were so, it was a grievous fault, and grievously hath Caesar answered it. Here, under leave of Brutus and the rest, for Brutus is an honorable man, so are they all honorable men, come I to speak in Caesar's funeral. She was my friend, faithful and just to me. But Brutus says she was ambitious, and Brutus is an honorable man. She hath brought many patients home to Rome. Did this in Caesar seem ambitious? When that the poor have cried, Caesar hath wept. Ambition should be made of sterner stuff. Yet Brutus says she was ambitious, and Brutus is an honorable man. You all did see that on the Lupercal I thrice presented her a kingly crown, which she did thrice refuse. Was this ambition? Yet Brutus says she was ambitious, and sure, he is an honorable man. I speak not to disprove what Brutus spoke, but here I am to speak what I do know. You all did love her once, not without cause. What cause withholds you then to mourn for her? Oh, judgment! Thou art fled to brutish beasts, and men have lost their reason. Bear with me. My heart is in the coffin there with Caesar. And I must pause till it come back to me.
Methinks there is much reason in his sayings. Caesar has had great wrongs.
I fear there will a worse come in her place.
Poor soul, his eyes are red as fire with weeping.
Not a nobler man in Rome than Antony. Mark him.
But yesterday, the word of Caesar might have stood against the world. Now lies she there. Oh, masters, if I were disposed to stir your hearts and minds to mutiny and rage, I should do Brutus wrong and Cassius wrong, who you all know are honorable men. I will not do them wrong. I rather choose to wrong myself. I choose to wrong the dead and you. Then I will wrong such honorable men. But here's a parchment with the seal of Caesar. Let but the commons hear this, her true will, and Pardon me, I do not mean to read. And they would go and kiss dead Caesar's wounds and dip their napkins in her sacred blood.
We'll hear the will. Read it, Mark Antony.
I have o'ershot myself to tell you of it. I fear I wrong the honorable men whose daggers have stabbed Caesar. I do fear it.
They were traitors, honorable men.
They were villains, murderers. The will. Read the will.
You will compel me then to read the will. To every Roman, Caesar doth give 75 drachmas. Moreover, to her private arbors and new planted orchards, she gives to you and to your heirs forever.
Oh, Caesar.
And let me show you her that made the will. This noble corpse here. Will you give me leave?
Yea! Here, most noble Antony.
If you have tears, prepare to shed them now. See what a rent the envious Casca made. Through this, the well-beloved Brutus stabbed. Good Brutus, as you know, was Caesar's angel. Judge, O you gods, how dearly Caesar loved him. This was the most unkindest cut of all. Ingratitude, more strong than traitors' arms, quite vanquished Caesar. All of us fell down whilst bloody treason flourished over us. Oh, now you weep, and these are gracious drops. Look you here, Caesar's marred, you see, with traitors. I am no orator as Brutus is, but were I Brutus and Brutus Antony, I'd put a tongue in every wound of Caesar that should move the stones of Rome to rise and mutiny.
No mutiny.
Now, let it work. Mischief thou art afoot. Take thou what course thou wilt. How now, fellow?
Sir, Octavius has already come to Rome.
Where is he?
He and Lepidus are at Caesar's house.
And thither will I straight to visit him. He comes upon a wish. Fortune is merry, and in this mood will give us anything.
I heard him say Brutus and Cassius are rid like madmen through the gates of Rome.
Like they had some notice of the people, how I had moved them. Bring me to Octavius. These many then shall die. Their names are pricked.
Your brother too must die. Consent you, Lepidus?
I do consent.
Prick him down, Antony.
Upon condition Publius shall not live, who's your sister's son, Mark Antony.
Shall not live. Look, with a spot, I damn him. But Lepidus, go you to Caesar's house, fetch the will hither, and we shall determine how to cut off some charge and legacies.
What shall I find you here?
Or here or at the Capitol.
This is a slight, unmeritable man, meet to be sent on errands. Is it fit, the threefold world divided, he should stand one of the three to share it?
So you thought him, and took his voice who should be pricked to die, as in our black sentence in prescription.
Octavius, I have seen more days than you, and though we lay these honors on this man, he shall but bear them as the ass bears gold, either led or driven, as we point the way. And having brought our treasure where we will, then take we down his load and turn him off.
You may do your will, but he's a tried and valiant soldier.
So is my horse, Octavius. Brutus and Cassius are levying powers. We must straight make head. Therefore, let our alliance be combined, and let us presently go sit in council, how covert matters may be best disclosed, and open perils surest answered.
Let us do so, for we are at the stake and bait about with many enemies, and some that smile have in their hearts, I fear, millions of mischiefs.
Lucius, be content. You wronged yourself to write in such a case.
You have condemned and noted Lucius Pella for taking bribes wherein my letters writ because I knew the man were slayed off?
Let me tell you, Cassius, you yourself are much condemned to have an itching palm.
I? An itching palm?
Away, slight man.
It's possible.
Peace, peace. Be angry when you will, it shall have scope. Lucius! A bowl of wine?
I did not think you could have been so angry.
Oh, Cassius. I'm sick of many griefs. Portia is dead.
Portia.
She is dead.
Insurmountable and touching loss. Upon what sickness?
Impatient of my absence, and grief that young Octavius and Mark Antony have made themselves so strong for. With her death, that tidings came. With this, she fell distract, and her attendants absent, swallowed fire.
And died so?
Even so.
Ye mortal gods.
Speak no more of her. Give me a bowl of wine. In this I bury all unkindness, Cassius. Come in, Messala. Welcome, good Messala. Now, sit we close about this taper here and call in question our necessities.
Portia, art thou gone?
No more, I pray you! Messala, I have here received letters that young Octavius and Mark Antony come down upon us with a mighty power, bending their expedition toward Philippi.
Myself have letters of the selfsame tenor. Had you your letters from your wife, my lord?
No, Messala.
Nor nothing in your letters writ of her?
Nothing, Messala.
That methinks is strange.
Why ask you? Hear you out of her and yours?
No, my lord.
Now, as you are a Roman, tell me true.
Then like a Roman bear the truth I tell. For certain she is dead, and by a strange manner.
Why? Farewell, Portia. You must die, Messala. With meditating that she must die once, I have the impatience to do it now.
Even so great men, great losses should endure.
I have as much of this in art as you, but yet my nature could not bear it so.
Well, to our work alive. The enemy increaseth every day. We at the height are ready to decline. There is a tide in the affairs of men, and we must take the current when it serves or lose our ventures.
Then we will, with your will, go on. We'll along ourselves and meet them at Philippi.
The deep of night has crept upon our talk. There's no more to say?
No more. Good night. Early tomorrow we will rise and hence.
Lucius! My gown? Where's thy instrument?
Here, in the tent.
What, thou speakest drowsily? Poor knave, I blame thee not. Thou art o'erwatched. Call Claudius and some of my other men. I'll have them sleep on the cushions in my tent.
Claudius.
Calls, my lord?
I pray you, sirs, lie in my tent and sleep. Oh, look, Lucius, here's the book I sought for, so you put it in the pocket of my gown.
I was sure your lordship did not give it to me.
Bear with me, good boy, I am much forgetful. Canst thou hold up thy heavy eyes a while?
Aye, my lord, may it please you.
I will not hold thee long. If I do live, I will be good to thee. O murderous slumber, layest thou leaden mace upon my boy? Gentle knave, good night. I will not do thee so much wrong to wake. Let's see. Is not the leaf turned down where I left reading? Here it is, I think. How ill this taper burns. Who comes here? I think it is the weakness of mine eyes that shapes this monstrous apparition. Comes upon me. Art thou anything? Art thou some god? Some angel? Or some devil that makest my blood cold to my hair to stand? Speak to me what thou art!
Thy evil spirit, Brutus?
Why comest thou?
To tell thee thou shalt see me at Philippi.
Well, then I shall see thee again.
Aye, at Philippi.
I will see thee at Philippi then. Now I have taken heart thou vanishest. Ill spirit, I would hold more talk with thee. Boy, Lucius, Claudius, sirs, awake.
The strings, my lord, are false.
Oh, he thinks he's still his instrument. Lucius, awake!
My lord.
Didst thou dream, Lucius, that thou so criedst out?
My lord, I do not know that I did cry.
Yes, that thou didst. Didst thou see anything?
Nothing, my lord.
Sleep again, Lucius. Sirrah Claudius.
My lord?
Why did you so cry out, sir, in your sleep? Saw you anything?
No, nothing, my lord.
Go and commend me to my brother Cassius. Bid him set on his powers betimes before, and we will follow.
It shall be done, my lord.
Now, Antony, our hopes are answered. The enemy has come down. They are at hand. They mean to warn us at Philippi here.
But I am in their bosoms, and I know wherefore they do it. And they do come down with fearful bravery, thinking by this face to fasten in our thoughts that they have courage, but 'tis not so.
Prepare you, generals. The enemy comes on in gallant show. Their bloody sign of battle is hung out, and something to be done immediately.
Octavius, lead your battle softly on, upon the left hand of the even field.
Upon the right hand, I keep thou the left.
Why do you cross me in this exigent?
I do not cross you, but I will do so.
Stand would have parley.
Stand fast, generals. We must out and talk.
Mark Antony, shall we give sign of battle?
No, Caesar. We will answer on their charge. Make forth. The generals would have some words.
Stir not until the signal.
Words before blows. Is it so, countrymen?
Not that we love words better, as you do.
Good words are better than bad strokes, Octavius.
In your bad strokes, Brutus, you give good words. Witness the hole you made in Caesar's heart, crying, long live, hail, Caesar.
Antony, the posture of your blows are yet unknown, but for your words, they'll rob the Hyblobees and leave them honeyless.
Not singless, too.
Oh, yes, and soundless, too. For you have stolen their buzzing, Antony, and very wisely threat before you sting.
Villains, you did not so when your vile daggers hacked one another in the sides of Caesar. You showed your teeth like apes, and fawned like hounds, and bowed like bondmen, kissing Caesar's feet, whilst damned Casca, like a cur, behind struck Caesar on the neck. Oh, you flatterers.
Flatterers? Now, Brutus, thank yourself. This tongue had not offended so today if Cassius might not have ruled.
Come, the cause, my sword never goes up till Caesar's 33 bleeding wounds be well avenged. Or till another Caesar have added slaughter to the sword of traitors.
Caesar, thou canst not die by traitors' hands unless thou bringest thine with thee.
So I hope. I was not born to die on Brutus's sword.
Oh, if thou wert the noblest of thy strain, young man, thou couldst not die more honorable.
A peevish schoolboy, worthless of such honor, a masker and a reveler.
Old Cassius still.
Come, Antony, away. Defiance, traitors, hurl we in your teeth. If you dare fight today, come to the field. If not, when you have stomachs.
This same day must end that work that the Ides of March begun.
Ride, Lucius, ride! Let them all come down!
Brutus gave the word too early. His soldiers felt the spoil, whilst we by Antony are all enclosed.
Mark Antony is in your tent, my lord.
Fire! Help me!
For Caesar!
Fire!
Please!
Fire!
Alas. Go, Lucius, get higher on that hall. Zira, what news?
Oh, my lord!
What news?
Messala is enclosed. He is taken, and heart they shout for joy.
Come down. Behold no more. Oh, coward that I am to live so long, to see my best friend taken before my face. Come hither, Zira. Come now, keep thine oath, and with this sword that ran through Caesar's bowels, search this bosom. Stand not to answer. Here, take thou the hilts, and when my face is covered, as 'tis now, guide thou the sword. Caesar, thou art revenged, even with the sword that killed thee.
Why didst thou send me forth, brave Brutus? Alas, thou hast misconstrued everything.
Where Lucius doth his body lie?
Low yonder.
O Julius Caesar, thou art mighty yet. Thy spirit walks abroad and turns our swords in our own proper entrails. Last of all the Romans, fare thee well. Friends, I do owe more tears to this dead man than you shall see me pay. But I shall find time, Cassius. I shall find time. Let us to the field. 'Tis 3 o'clock, and Romans yet are night. We shall try fortune in a second fight.
Brutus is taken! Brutus is taken, my lord!
Where is he?
Safe, Antony. Brutus is safe enough.
This is not Brutus, friend, but I assure you a prize no less in worth. Keep this man safe, give him all kindness. Go on, and see whether Brutus be alive or dead, and bring us word onto Octavius's tent how everything is chanced.
Come, O remains of friends. Rest on this rock. I know my hour is come.
Not so, my lord.
Nay, I'm sure it is, Claudius. It is more worthy to leap in ourselves than tarry till they push us. Good Claudius, hold down my sword hilts. We'll start one on it.
That's not an office for a friend, my lord.
Fly, my lord. There is no tarrying here.
Farewell to all of you, my countrymen. I shall have glory by this losing day more than Octavius and Mark Antony. Fare you well at once. Brutus's tongue hath almost ended his life's history. Night hangs upon mine eyes. My bones would rest.
Fly, my lord, fly!
I prithee, Lucius, stay thou by thy lord. Thou art a fellow of a good respect. Thy life hath had some smatch of honor in it. Hold then my sword and turn away thy face while I do run upon it. Wilt thou, Lucius?
Give me your hand first. Fare you well, my lord.
Farewell, good Lucius. Caesar, did now be still. I killed not thee with half so good a will.
This was the noblest Roman of them all. All the conspirators, save only he, did that they did in envy of great Caesar. He only, in a general, honest thought and common good to all, made one of them. His life was gentle, and the elements so mixed in him that nature might stand up and say to all the world, this was a man.
According to his virtue, let us use him, with all respect and rites of burial. Within my tent tonight his bones shall lie, most like a soldier ordered honorably. So call the field to rest, and let's away, to part the glories of this happy day.